This is NDTV, and you're watching NDTV 24/7.
India calling. This is a term which a lot of people living in the UK, US hear often, because you're often thinking about when is the next time we go to India. But then the topic I'm going to discuss on Out of England today is one which every viewer who's watching is going to relate to, because I'm going to talk about calling India, as in really making a phone call to India and reaching out to your family. How many of you came here 10 years ago, 5 years ago? When did you come?
I started actually out of India in 1998.
98 you were out of India?
Yeah, but not in
I'll
UK,
come
but
back.
in Germany. Yeah.
Okay, I'll come back to where you were. 1998. When
Yeah,
did
same here. I'm his wife.
you're a couple. Okay. Okay, welcome. We often have a lot of couples joining us on Out of England. When did you come?
I came in 2005.
2005? Okay.
For the first time, I came in 2002.
2002. Okay, so we have a good mix of people who've come at different. So the topic is the way to reach out to your family in India. First, I want to talk about this expensive trend of making ISD calls, writing letters, posting letters. Then came the system of emailing, and then now of course it's WhatsApp calling and Skype and so many other things. So let's talk about the different ways, and now what you feel is the cheapest and the most reliable way of calling somebody. Into 1998, you went to Germany?
Germany, yeah. I was there more than a year there in Germany, but at that time the experience was really difficult to get any calling cards, so expensive, and whenever you call you need to be very careful in terms of the minute. You know, we used to look, because every minute is the calling rate, so you need to make sure that you won't exceed any second. So, but you have to convey to so many of your relatives, parents and all, siblings and all. So, but it was a bit of a costly affair. I had to make sure that in my budget I keep only 3 calling cards per month, which used to be around 20 Deutsche Mark or something. Yeah, at that time Deutsche Mark was there. Okay. So maybe that was a completely different experience compared to the people who come now. It is such an easy task for them.
Don't
no paying nothing. It's
Nothing.
very
Absolutely free of cost.
absolutely free of cost.
Very unfair, no?
Yes.
Because I know a friend who, like you, in 1996, I think, I forget, she went to Switzerland, and she used to practice her conversations because she had 60 seconds to speak. So she would say, "Mom, I'm doing fine. How are you?" You know, because she couldn't go beyond her script because it would cost a bomb. Did you have those issues as well initially? And I'm sure for a wife who comes here knowing nobody, it's just that much more difficult, because you used to talking so much when you're back in India.
Yeah, definitely. I would like to bring one interesting thing is, when you're newly married and come, you will have a lot of things to ask your mother. Recipes. So always we used to write emails and all. But seeing the current thing, and when I make a phone call, I used to say, I'm going to write a email about this, please reply back. So we have to keep the conversation very short. It was, yes, very difficult. Compared to now, you chat to them hours and it's all free of cost. Skype, WhatsApp, so many things.
And now anyway, we don't look at mom's recipes anymore, with Google having so many more recipes.
Exactly.
Yeah, it must have been very difficult, I can imagine, when you suddenly realize how much salt to put in 4 cups of roti atta. What do you do? You know, these are things that I call my mom about. And then there is the time difference. So, you know, and then my mom acts pricey and she says, don't call me anymore in the evenings. Exactly. Why don't you do this in the morning? So it's more of it's very professional, you know, HR, like when you send an email and then you expect a reply so many hours later. Anyway, okay, from 1998 to 2005. How tough was it at that time?
It was my first trip out of India.
Okay.
And when I came here, first thing, how to call back to my family and relatives, friends. That is more important thing. Now, I didn't know anything about UK when I came here. So I asked my colleagues, I asked my friends, what are the different methods we can call back? So they said, buy a calling card and options. Only that option was available in 2005. So they said,
calling card.
Calling card. They said £5, 30 minutes. So back of the mind, being an Indian, I was trying to convert into Indian rupees.
I still do that. Listen, nothing wrong. I still do that. Even now, when somebody says £9 for something, I start thinking, what is it in rupees?
Right? So 500 rupees for half an hour. So when I told my parents and my friends, they said, oh, you are in UK, come on. And so that was my first experience when I came here. And obviously after that, we are technical people, so we know how to operate all technology stuff, and we guide Indians. Okay, you use this, install this application, put this here, that, setting everything. Now it's so easy.
Yeah.
Now the younger generation, they don't have to bother, or they don't need to put some separate budget to talk.
phone calls
Phone
to
calls,
India.
yeah. It was very expensive 10 years back. 10 years back it was very
So did you guys, did you have a budget every month for India calling?
Now it is no more an option, but yeah, at that time, yes,
At that time you
definitely,
did.
definitely.
Even
yes.
in 2005 you did?
yes, of course, yeah.
Okay.
It is expensive, yeah.
Sure. Your first phone call in 2002 to India.
2002. I got a varied experience between the two here.
It's very
All right,
different,
yeah.
okay.
I came for the first time in 2002, went back to India in 2004, and returned in 2006. So the experience of 2002 to 2003 had given me an excellent idea as to how I can survive in this country. Not survive, okay, I can live in this country. I would say. When I came for the first time in 2002, neither my parents had a phone at home because my father was a retired school teacher. He couldn't afford a phone there. So I had to talk to my sisters who had a telephone at home. No mobile then.
No mobile.
You know, in India, at least my sister.
It would have been
you know,
landline calling.
so
back
I
then.
ca-
Then as well. Yeah.
So that's what. So
Yeah,
my
I think in 2005 it became a little bit more comfortable.
open,
yeah.
yeah.
I think 2004, 2005, then we got used to mobile.
Right. Yeah.
Okay.
See, mobile had entered, but not it
not
was
as
not
much.
so prevalent. Okay. So when I came in 2002, even my salary was not so much that I could have afforded to have a phone where I don't have a calling, time, but still I pay line rental. That was an astonishment for me, a surprise. And on top of it, in order to keep a TV, I had to give TV license and mandatory thing. So I couldn't have afforded to have a telephone at home. I didn't have one. So what I did is, finally, I had to talk to my company, and they told, okay, they will pay rental for the phone, but other charges should be mine. Okay, so then after 6 months, for 6 months, I could not contact. Literally, yeah. But luckily, the internet was there. Okay, so I used to send internet messages to my cousins, sisters, and brother, and ask
You
them
mean
to convey.
emails?
Yeah, and then ask them to convey it to my parents.
So for 6
So
months
for
or so.
nearly 3 to 6 months, I didn't have any way of
Oh, dear.
communicating. Yes.
Today, what is the most reliable, cheapest form? How do you call home?
Now we call using WhatsApp or Skype, or we have Hangout. But yes,
And you get to see them.
see them.
And there are times when they call and you're like, I'm not right now, I'm busy.
Yes.
And there was a time when people would have appointments, fix a time, fix a budget to call home. And today we don't have the time to, however simple technology is made for us, we don't have the time to spend. We fix a weekend once a month and then we make those phone calls. But yeah, the more reliable means of communication through different apps, video apping and audio calling and all of that.
Yeah, so more than this current one, I would like to give one more incident of my old one, 1998. My father, who's now 82 years, at that time, since the time when I went to Germany, he was always reluctant to learn on mobiles and all. Even though we used to have some mobiles, because I used to work for telecom, we used to have an antenna. I had to take the antenna up for a big mobile and speak to him. He used to say, no, I never get something. You send a letter. So I used to use one web service where I used to send a letter to them. They would post it and send it to in India, because that postal charges is less. And after that, my father said, no, I don't understand your email. You send it to somebody, one of the internet center, who used to take a printout and give it to my father. Yeah, it used to be difficult.
Send an email to somebody who held
Data, yeah, internet service
parlor
provider.
kind of
Yeah.
thing, and he would take a printout.
Out and give it to them at a minimum service charges.
That still is a form of a letter for your father. I'm sure he's convinced.
I would say
hope
that,
he was convinced with that.
even in UK, every year he sends close to around 6 to 8 letters, postal letters till now. in Kannada, writing in Kannada. We are all Karnataka people, and I show that to my son as well, saying this is how the letters used to come out. And we are now making a practice, saying at least once or twice in a year, we send a letter through postal to my father. So that is still, it really connects a lot, and it really touches us a lot. The way how he writes, and that talks a lot more than WhatsApp or video call.
Yeah. Thank you. What is your most important memory of making that first phone call back to India when you first came to the UK or any part of Europe or abroad? Let us know. ooe@ndtv.com. I really enjoy reading your emails, so keep them coming. Bye.